Good day, children. I am Gayatri Prasad, your mathematics teacher. Today, we are going to start with a new topic that is fractions. In today's class, we'll be learning about fractions as a whole number, numerator and denominator of a fraction, and more about fraction. Here's a story which I would like to narrate to all of you. Ria has a collection of 20 feathers. She wants to give equal number of feathers to 5 of her friends. So here are friends. Now, how can she distribute these feathers? So we have to check how many feathers will each friend get from the collection. Let's go back to the question. It says there are total 20 feathers and we have to divide them equally to 5 of her friends. Absolutely right. We would divide 20 by 5. We get the quotient as 4. So that signifies that every friend would get 4 feathers. So let us see more in details. Yes, it's 4. So each friend will get 4 feathers out of the collection of 20 feathers. What does this specify? Yes. Here, when we have learned that there were some number of feathers given and you had to distribute it equally amongst the given number of friends. So we had divided. Fraction is very next concept of division. Here, let's see and learn more about it. Let's see one more story. That says, Ruhi and 3 of her friends ordered a pizza. They wanted to divide the pizza equally among themselves. Oh, that's really different as that we had learned from the previous one. Here we have Ruhi and 3 of her friends. So the total number of friends or the people where the number of parts of pizza needs to be divided is 4. And here we have just a pizza. You may come across whenever a pizza is ordered, the slices are made accordingly in equal parts and then we enjoy munching over the pizza. Is it not? Yes. So here, let's go ahead. How many pizza slices are required so each of them gets equally? Now here, we don't have the number. So definitely, one pizza we need to divide in 4 equal parts. That is exactly as shown here. So how will you divide this in the same? Yes, exactly. When we have a whole given, we would divide it into the equal number of parts as desired to. Like the whole of pizza can be divided into half and again the half parts are divided again by half. That results to total 4 equal parts. Let us find the fraction of a collection. Let's see one more story. Shruti had 12 beads. She wanted to use one half of the beads to make a necklace. How many beads will she use? That's quite interesting to see. We have 12 beads and it has to be framed to make a necklace such that one half of the beads are the only used. So how many beads will she use to make one necklace? So we have to look for how many beads are there in all. Yes, they are 12. How many beads does she want to make a necklace? Yes, it's half of the total. How will you find one half of 12? Absolutely right. You say it's 6? Yes. We need to do one half of 12, that is divide 12 by 2. We have half of 12, that says 12 divided by 2, that is 6. That signifies Shruti will use 6 beads to make one necklace. Let us see one of the examples. Find 1/4 of 20. 1/4 of 20, that says 20 divides by 4. We have the answer as 5. That says 1/4 of 20 is 5. Let's move on to the next. Find 1/3 of 27. 27 divided by 3. Of course, it's 9. We have 1/3 of 27 set as 9. So in this way, we had learned how to form fraction from a collection. Now, let us see few more parts of collection or in fractions. Fraction of a collection. Look at the pictorial representation. What fraction does the shaded part represent? Can you guess? Yes, here we count the total number of parts. That says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Out of 8, 2 parts are shaded. So that is 2 out of 8. Fraction of a whole. The representation. Let us see. As you can see in both the diagrams, total number of parts are 8 and out of them 2 are shaded. When we say in terms of collection, they are discrete shades wherein the parts are recognized by shading. Whereas in the case of whole, it's from the one whole part the fractions are divided. So now here let us find the fraction that shows unshaded part. Yes, here we have unshaded, that is the blank part, 6 out of total 8. So the fraction of shaded part is 2 upon 8 and fraction of unshaded part is 6 upon 8. Let us see few more concepts of fractions. Fraction of a collection if we have to represent for 2/3. Yes, as you can see here, the fraction for the shaded part would be 2 out of 3, that is 2/3. Fraction of a whole, where you see 2 parts shaded out of the whole, that is 3, we have is called 2/3. But in the case of unshaded part, we have it as 1 upon 3, also called as 1/3. Three-fourth. As the name signifies 3/4, we have 3 parts represented out of 4. So the shaded part is 3/4. Whereas in case for a whole, it's represented as this. So the question says, find fraction that represents unshaded part. Yes, it's 1 upon 4, that is called also 1/4. For 4/5, we have the fraction of a collection represented 4 out of 5, that says 4/5, but here in the case of unshaded part, it is 1 upon 5, that is 1/5. Case of a whole, you have to say for the shaded part, it is 4/5. 5/6. As the name states, it's very simple that in the collection you'll have 6 parts, out of which 5 would be shaded. For the shaded part, it would be 5/6. In case of the whole, we have unshaded part represented as 1/6. 6/9, where you say out of 9, 6 parts are shaded. 6/9. For the whole is represented for shaded part as 3/9. 7/8. Fraction of collection would be 7 upon 8 for shaded, whereas for unshaded it is 1/8. So in this way we have learned what are fractions and how they are represented in different ways. We have also learned how fractions of a collection is formed and how we represent the pictorial way for a given fraction. So let us revise the concepts that we had learned. Fractions is a part of a whole, or it can be from the collection too. Fractions are always in terms of parts that are equally distributed. Now, here I would like to explain the concept of numerator and denominator. Here we go. Here, there's a diagram that specifies we have divided a rectangular block in equal parts, that is 8 equal parts. And out of them, I have shaded 3 parts. Let us find what does the fraction represent for shaded part. Yes, we count the number of shaded parts, that is 1, 2, and 3. So we write above as 3, and the total number of parts that we had is 8. So we have here 8. For the unshaded, the remaining blank parts, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it is represented as 5/8. When we learn about these things, we know that when a fraction is made, it is made up of equal parts. There are some terminologies that are represented. The above part that is said is called as the numerator. That is the fraction wherein the number of parts that may be shaded or unshaded that specifies numerator. Whereas the below part of the fraction is called denominator, that specifies the total number of parts. So numerator and denominator comprise to make a fraction. Here we can read this as 3/8 or 3/8. In the same way, 5/8 can be read as 5/8. Now the question arises, if we had The shaded part and unshaded part combined together, what does it make? Yes, it makes a whole. If I ask, what does two halves make? What does two halves make? Exactly, it makes a whole. A whole that signifies one whole part. So, today we had learned what are fractions, how fractions are represented in pictorial way. Also, from the pictorial way, how we can identify the fraction in terms of shaded or unshaded part. We shall meet in the next class. Till then, take care. Goodbye.